my wife, she thinks that our house already is starting to look like a jungle. Hello, I am Brigadier General Wong Shi Ming, Commander 9th Singapore Division and Chief Infantry Officer, and I'm here to answer your questions on Kopitalk. My biggest role models are my parents. They taught me about gratitude and making the best of what we have in life. My mother grew up in Pulau Ubin, leading a simple life. My father drives boats at the port. Both of them didn't go to university, so they wanted the best for all four of us children. They worked really hard to give us a good education so that we can have a head start in life. I used to be in track and field, so I did the 110-meter hurdles for 6 years, from secondary 1 till JC 2. I don't know why, but when I go for national running competitions, I always end up in 4th place. So my friends used to joke that, that's the reason why my parents gave me the name Si Ming. Running is a solitary sport, and I was always envious of my friends who were in team sports. The only team event I did was the 4x100 meter relay, and that was my favorite thing because we ran together as a team. Actually, come to think about it, when I did my individual races, I was always in 4th position. But when we did the team relays, we somehow always ended up on the podium. So this is just like being in the army. When we do things together and work as a team, we achieve more than doing it individually. The army is a team sport. Joining the army fulfilled my aspirations of being part of a larger team. The most memorable place I visited in my army career is the White House in Washington, D.C. I was part of then Prime Minister Lee's visit to the US, where we were hosted to a state dinner by President Barack Obama. He was anything but regular. I was seated next to the US Secretary of Defense, Ashton Carter, and what he shared with me was something that stuck with me till today. He said that even though Singapore is a small country, it punches far above its weight, and the SAF is very well respected by many foreign militaries. At the end of the dinner, I felt very proud to be a Singaporean and for what my small country has accomplished. I was fortunate to attend the US Army Command and Staff College. It's a fantastic learning experience because there were more than 1,000 officers there from about 100 countries, and many of them have plenty of combat experience. Winning the chair is a collective achievement. I was supported by many friends and mentors who guided and supported me along the way. It also shows that the SAF has a good training system that allows our officers to do well in international settings. Now, these are two different jobs. For 9th Division, we are actually a combined arms division comprising regulars, NSFs and NSmen. Our job is to raise, train and build this division so that it is ready for operations when called upon. As Chief Infantry Officer, I lead the infantry formation, which is the biggest formation in the SAF. There is a saying, when the infantry moves, the army moves. And that's because the infantry is the primary combat force in the battlefield. We train about 60,000 soldiers every year in 3 big training institutes, including Basic Military Training Center. So many people actually would have had touch points with 9th Division and infantry during their time in the SAF. The infantry is the largest and most diverse group of people in the army. We are the boots on the ground. We come from all walks of life. What makes the infantry special is that even though we are ordinary people, when we are well led and come together as a team, we can achieve extraordinary things. Even as technology improves, for any wars to have a decisive outcome, the infantry are the people who are needed to win the war. We have introduced new technology to allow our soldiers to fight better. This is important as we increasingly operate in the urban terrain and deal with new threats. Recently, we introduced the new light machine gun to all infantry units. This is more accurate, more reliable, and it is also shorter, so it is more maneuverable in tight urban spaces. Another example is that we have recently introduced the new drones for all infantry units. These drones allow our soldiers to see further and move faster without risking human lives. It also has night vision capabilities, so you can operate effectively even in dark conditions. Even as we use technology to become more effective and look for the next game changers in future warfare, what doesn't change are the fundamentals that we continue to teach our soldiers. So traits such as teamwork, resilience, discipline, these are things that don't change. Because work is so busy, I actually treasure a lot of time I spend with my family on the weekends. My two girls, they are 5 years old and 3 years old. It's a very fun stage of growing up because both of them imagine that they are Disney princesses. One of them thinks that she's Elsa, the other one thinks that she's Anna, because they love the Disney cartoon Frozen, which I've been forced to watch maybe about 20 times by now. I have a sweet tooth, so I like all some sweet stuff, like chocolates and ice cream. I can have a full dinner outside, but I always have a separate stomach for desserts. But it's not the most healthy thing, and I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Now when I go and order coffee, it's always going to be coffee siew dai. I'm a big plant lover. Plants make me very happy. Whenever I do gardening, it gives me a time to reflect, to think about things, and it's actually quite a therapeutic experience for me. Both my home and my office are filled to the brim with plants. My wife, she thinks that our house already is starting to look like a jungle, and if I bring any more plants back, there's no place to sit at home. Thank you for watching this episode of Kopitalk. See you around.